Do you have students who seem to push back on everything? They feel the need to speak out on everything that happens to them and around them? And do you have some students who seem to be overly passive and are always the ones who have to end up giving in? Social flexibility and assertiveness skills are both really, really important social skills for kids to learn. But teaching when to be assertive and when to be socially flexible is very nuanced because there's no hard and fast rules about it. I'm going to show you an activity that I use in my social skills groups to work on both assertiveness and social flexibility. It gets kids moving, thinking, and sharing about themselves, but most importantly, all in a very judgment-free environment. Hi, I'm Diana Cortez, a board-certified behavior analyst and former special education teacher specializing in social learning for kids. The game is called Speak Up or Let It Go. How it works is I just literally have two printed out categories of Speak Up or Let It Go, and I'll put it on a board or a wall somewhere where we can all see. The kids are in a circle together, and on the table or on the area in front of them, I have a whole bunch of printed out, very relatable scenarios to them specifically and or their age group. You are over at a friend's house for dinner and served foods you really don't like. It's something they would encounter very often in their little life. Another one, someone accidentally bumps into you at school. Okay, and I just have the printed out cards here. Another one, you're on the playground and here's someone using curse words. So you can modify it to if it's more elementary group or more middle school group or more high school group, modify it to your needs. But the point is you have all these printed out social scenarios face down on the table or in the area next to them. And then what they do is take turns picking a social scenario. If they're uncomfortable with that one, let them pick another one. It's okay. This is supposed to be a relaxed, low pressure, just kind of like exploring our thoughts activity. So they pick one. For example, you're on the playground and here's someone using curse words. So that person has to decide, would they speak up about it? They have to think. Let me think. Is this something I would speak up about? Should I say something or would I? Okay, they can express it how they want. Would I say something about this? Or is that something I think I would just let it go? And they put it up on either category. Now, am I, as a facilitator, going to say, correct, that is something you should definitely speak up about it. Curse words are wrong. No, I'm not. Conversely, I'm not going to say if they put it up on being flexible, if that was right. It is not my place, nor anybody else's in that room, to say if their thoughts are right or wrong. But here's the magic. The other peers in that group are encouraged to also express what they would do. Okay, so the first person picks and they say, I would speak up about it because I don't think it's right to hear curse words. I don't want to hear that in my school, and that's against the rules, and I would speak up about it. Cool. Somebody else might say, well, it's not my business. I'm not going to tattletale on somebody else. Everybody says words here and there. Like, it's no big deal. Like, gosh, you're not going to make a huge deal out of this. Okay, so let's talk about it, all right? And we just share our opinions. What happens? The person all the kids, but especially I think the person who initially picked it because they're sort of like on the spotlight in a way, they are taking in that feedback and they are either saying, no, but I don't think it's right. I think that this, I really don't think curse words are okay. Or conversely, they might be like, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's not that big a deal because then I'd have to interrupt my play. The point is they're taking in the feedback. And the idea is not that we're going to change anybody's mind, but the idea is that we're going to have them self-reflect on their actions or their thought processes, or they're going to self-reflect on how they are coming across to other kids and getting that feedback. So we want to encourage both assertiveness and both flexibility. And again, it is not for us to say when you should be flexible and when you should be assertive, because everybody is different and different situations mean different things to different people, right? Like some things weigh more on people than others. So the idea is that we really want to get peers used to taking in feedback from their peers. You notice I'm really not the one saying anything as the social skills instructor or facilitator. I am sort of setting the stage, and I am allowing the kids to express themselves. The only thing I would interrupt for is if somebody was disrespectful in the way they were giving their feedback or sharing their opinion. But if they had very different opinions, that's fine. I never want to create an environment where our feelings or our thoughts or something like that are incorrect. Now, how we express them might be not appropriate for our setting, but they're, what they're thinking and their ideas behind them, that is appropriate. So this is one of my best-selling resources on Teachers Pay Teachers. It's because it's very simple, but you can get a lot of mileage on it. And like I said, you can adapt it and you can keep adding those social scenarios so it stays fresh. So I'm going to link in the description the TPT resource for this, or simply make your own. It's not that hard and it's very fun, and the kids end up liking it. So let me know in the comments if you think this is something you would do, or if you ever explored these topics before in your groups or in your classrooms.